Yesterday, a child came out to wonder.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Megan Victoria. My name is Megan. I'm a pro hair makeup artist, and my goal is to give you the tools and techniques so you can curate and create your own self-image so you can celebrate your most authentic self. So in today's video, I just finished watching Nikki Tutorial's coming out video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll definitely be linked below. But as I'm sure she's a huge integral part of the beauty community, I know all eyes are on her. And guys, this video was incredible. I'm not going to touch on the subject matter or the context of the video, as I really just don't believe it's my business at all. It's her personal truth, it's her story to share, so we're gonna let that kind of just be her. I'll link that down below because I really would encourage you guys to watch it, but it's so beautiful to see someone share their true authentic self, and it was very moving and very touching. But along with it being like an incredible video, I could not stop staring at her gorgeous face. Oh my god, the makeup look she had in this video was just so very her. And it was just beautiful. Honestly, she probably like looked even more beautiful and radiant just because she was like being like who she really is. And that's probably like, you know, she was glowing from within. But in my head, I was just like, oh my god, she's never looked more beautiful. Like, I was so excited. I've been watching her for as long as I can remember. I just love that obviously she does tutorials. She has such a high skill set, but she really focuses on technique and teaching, and that's something that I'm so passionate about, as you guys know. Her makeup in this video was so phenomenal. She always looks so beautiful, always looks so radiant and glowy, and like we have very similar like makeup styles and like the color palette and family like that. She's definitely a little bit more dramatic than I tend to be in my like usual kind of go-to makeup, but that is kind of what we did today. I haven't really been in the best mood for filming lately, and so when I saw that video, as much as I was like totally inspired and moved by the message, I also was like, oh my god, your makeup looks amazing, and I just felt really inspired to create this look. So I wanted to do it kind of in celebration of her and appreciation for her, and just also, you know, kickstart my ass into like actually moving. So this is the look we created today. It's just very glowy, it's radiant, it's very Nikki Tutorials-esque, it's very me-esque. It's just really peachy and beautiful, and I just absolutely love it. So if you are ready to get going, make sure you have your tools and all your things in front of you and follow along so we can create this makeup look together. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let us get started. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Now I need some glow to this skin, so I actually just got the Flawless Filter in number 3 instead of 2 as we usually use. So I'm gonna work a little bit of this on the skin because I need some color and I need, you know, a little glow up. I'm also going to mix that with my Indeed Labs Nano Blur Yellow Color Corrector. So this is kind of like my makeup quote-unquote primer. And I'm just gonna mix that in with the Flawless Filter. And another nail popped off. Excellent. Good. We are doing well for ourselves. Okay, so for foundation, I want something a little bit more full coverage, so I'm going to be using my Pure Love Yourselfy foundation. I have it in a little bit of a lighter shade. Like, none of my foundations match me. It's a whole thing. So I'm going to mix in a little bit of my It Cosmetics CC cream, and then we will see if we can create a little bit of a mixture and make this work for us. So I'm just going to dot this on the skin like so, and then I will use my sponge to just blend and work this in. Okay, so once we have our foundation applied, I'm just going to take some of my Benefit Color Corrector and just pop a little bit of this underneath the eyes, so this just has a nice peachy tone, so it's going to cancel out all my darkness because God knows I don't sleep enough. So we will just do that like so. I also really like this one because it's a little bit more light reflective, and so it can look really like light and bright under the eyes, especially if you're like, you know, have fine lines and wrinkles or a little like starting to age. It's just really great because it really bounces back the light. So big fan of that. And then I will just take my finger, just really make sure I've worked in and pressed in the product. Okay, so for concealer, I'm gonna start with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is a nice like warm peachy tone. So again, it's really just going to brighten up the under eyes, which is super important to me. So I just apply some like that. And then to really highlight and brighten, I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever concealer and I'm gonna apply this to the high point. So this is where I'm starting to now like kind of sculpt my face and just add in that lightness and brightness. Then I'll just take my beauty sponge and I'm gonna start blending all this in. Okay, now I definitely feel all nice and light and bright, so we are going to set this all into place. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. I love this one because it has a really nice glow, so the skin just looks really fresh and luminous. It's the winter, so I'm going light on the powder, so I'm just using a little brush, and I'm just going to press a little bit of powder right underneath the eyes. Then I'll just do kind of the center area of the face so I can kind of just target the areas that I want to mattify a little bit and just kind of set in place. And then for the rest of the face, I'll take the same product, so just that Charlotte Tilbury powder, and I just take a nice big brush just so I can get a way softer and lighter application of the powder because I don't want anything too intense. So I just can set the outsides of my face and ensure that our makeup and powders on top will really apply nice and smoothly. Okay, so now we are nice and set in place. I'm going to go into our bronzer. I'm going to grab this shade from my Nars palette on just kind of a nice fluffy bronzer brush. I'm going to hold it nice and far back and just swirl the bronzer to the outsides of the face. Warming up the outside of the face, kind of just creating that nice like little 3 motion. It's a good rule of thumb when kind of doing your bronzer. I tend to apply my bronzer a little lower because like I just think if I put it on my like jawline, it just looks like I have a beard. So I will apply it just under my jawline, and then again doing that 3 motion all across just to add some beautiful peachy warmth. I'm also going to go in and take a little bit of this peach blush from my Pixi palette. I love this palette. I love this blush. It's so, so pretty. And I'll just apply it right on top, and you're going to see how we get this really beautiful peachy warmth. I'm also going to grab a tiny bit of the pink, and I'm just going to apply it right on the apple, just so give ourselves a little bit of that pinky flush. Alright, would not be a Nikki video without like a really good blinding highlight. So I'm going to go into my Pure palette. I'm going to just take this like pinky one just so we go with our peachy pinky kind of look. And I'm going to apply a bit of that to the cheekbones. So peachy, so glowy. I'm also going to take this opportunity just to grab a little bit of bronzer and put it down the sides of my nose. I don't tend to do like a full nose contour, but when we do add that dimension like with our bronzer to our face, it's kind of good to kind of just do the same to the nose just so that element does not get lost. Just a little bit like that, and whatever highlighter you have left, I'll just kind of pop it like so. Now because I'm a square-faced human, I really like to make sure my cheekbones are like very like up and pronounced. So what I like to do is I'll take a little bit of pressed powder when I'm kind of at this step, and I just kind of press that on, kind of like baking, but like the relaxed version, just to make sure I've really, you know, snatched those cheekbones, and they give lots of volume and definition to my face. You can also just take a little bit of that pressed powder and just go anywhere you find you want a little bit more coverage, which is usually for me just the center of the face, and then it also kind of just like prevents the blush from creeping in too far. Alright, so now we've created this really beautiful kind of peachy glowy skin. I'm just going to set it all in place with a little bit of my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix number 2. And then my favorite step for making sure your makeup is like really flawless is I take my little beauty blender or sponge and I just press everything in just so it all kind of now becomes like one layer instead of, you know, a bunch of makeup sitting on your face. Okay, so my brows are a hot mess. I'm gonna jump off camera and do them, and then we'll move on to the eyes. Okay, we are back. Brows are done. It is what it is. I actually brow laminated my own brows a couple weeks ago, so that's now starting to do very funky, weird things. So I tried to do my brows, but honestly, it was a struggle, and all my brows are going different ways, and they all trying to have a party, and it's like, yo, you need to settle down. But anyway, we have our brows on and our eyes prepped. I just threw a little bit of concealer. So we're ready to move on to the eyes. So when I saw her look, immediately I was like, yo, you can do that whole look with the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. I love this palette, and it's just so easy to work with. So to start off, I'm going to grab a little bit of the shade Toasty, a little bit of the shade Passion Fruit, and then a little bit more Toasty because I want to keep it more brown than pink, but it definitely is on like that rosy category. Just going to take that on a big Sigma brush and work this into the crease. I hold my brush nice and far back just so I can get a really soft application, which is going to give me a really beautiful blend. Grab a little bit more and work that on the other side. I also think I'm gonna dip into the Barbie palette. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this brown, just like it's got that nice like mustardy kind of hue. I just want to add a little bit of that to this look. Yeah, I really like that already. Just adding a little bit more of that mustard and a little less like reddy orange. This eyeshadow look is so simple to do, which is another reason I really wanted to show you guys. Okay, so for the next shadow, all I'm gonna do is go into this palette and we're gonna grab the shade Henna. So it's just a nice warm, really nice kind of warm reddy brown. And all I'm gonna do again, hold my brush nice far back, and we're going to work that on the outer corner and kind of into the crease. So I just kind of like pat the shadow just to kind of get the application, and then use nice little circular motions just to blend it out. And then just to make sure we keep this to look nice and light and bright, I'm just going to take that big blending brush we had before and just use nice little circle motions to just blend all those shadows together. And then we'll have a nice like gradient of color going from like dark to light coming from the outer corner. Then I'm gonna go into the same palette again, keeping it nice and easy. We're gonna grab the shade Charmer, which is just a nice kind of like shimmery pinky shade. And all I'm gonna do is take that shade and pop that on the brow bone highlight. Just kind of keeping that same kind of peachy pinky undertone going through the whole look. Okay, so now we really want to brighten up that inner corner part, like really get that kind of shimmery shade, a really beautiful kind of shimmery pinky kind of look. So I think I'm actually going to jump over to this Pure palette again. Since we've used it, we might as well use it, only keeping the 2 palettes, so it's not too bad today. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the pinky shade, and we're going to apply this first and foremost. I just want to have like a nice pinky base. I don't want anything kind of getting like washed out, so I'm going to lay down this really beautiful pinky base. And then to really get that shimmer, I'm gonna go into that beautiful, really shimmery white shade. Now that white is gonna become kind of like a cream shade. It's just gonna look really beautiful. So you can see how we kind of used color theory to help us achieve the best look. I really find if we were to lay the white down, it probably would look a little translucent on the skin, but by putting that little bit of a pinky base, it really gives something to kind of pop from and has a really beautiful undertone that goes with the rest of the look. So I'm just taking my little blending brush and just blending all this together. Again, holding it nice and far back, just letting my brush kind of do the work for me so I can just have a really, really soft eye look. I think I want to get a little bit of gold. Like I need a little bit of gold kind of going through this pink. So I'm going to go into my Born to Run palette, and I'm going to grab the shade Stranded, and then I think I'll mix it with Breakaway. I just need a little bit of gold kind of coming through this pink. Yeah, like I need it a little bit peachy and warmer. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that gold shimmer just to really warm it up. Again, just take that big blending brush and blend it all together. Just trying to keep this look really simple and easy to do. All right, for liner, I'm gonna just use a little bit of gel liner. So I'm gonna just apply a really thin line going right across the eyes. Alright, so I just did a nice thin line of liner with the tiniest little wing. I'm gonna just pop on some lashes and mascara, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so lashes are on. I absolutely adore these lashes. These are the Ardel 120s. They're just the perfect like natural lash that just like open your eyes and make them look fabulous. So for our lower lash line, we're gonna jump back to the Barbie palette. We're basically just gonna do what we did on the top. So I'm gonna grab this nice like mustardy shade first. I'm gonna apply this to the lower lash line pretty thick, I'd say, like, you know, pretty smoked out. Definitely want to get a nice smoked out lower lash line. Then once you've done that, we're gonna grab the henna shade again, so nice like orangey chocolatey brown, and apply that a little bit tighter to the lash line, giving us that nice gradation of color. And then I like to just take that giant blendy brush and just like really kind of smoke out that lower lash line. Then we'll apply some mascara. Then lastly, I'm just gonna take that little gold shade mixed with a little bit of the lighter, whatever you got, and just pop that as a little inner corner highlight, just making sure our eyes are nice and light and bright. Okay, so I absolutely adored the lip Nikki had on in her video, so we're gonna kind of recreate that or something similar. We will try. I'm just gonna start off with my Boldly Bare pencil from MAC. And then my go-to base pretty much anytime I do a nude lip is the Pure Hollywood Liquid Lip by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then I'll just take a little lip brush to blend that in. That looks beautiful. So then I'm going to grab a little bit of the Dance Floor Princess lipstick by Charlotte Tilbury. It's just a nice pinky creamy shade. Okay, and then to make sure it also has a little dimension, a little bit of Nude Kate on top. I love this one. And it's also just gonna give us a little bit more of that peachy tone. Why yes, using like 5 lipsticks is a little excessive, but do we need one more? Just one more. Okay, so then I just want to put a little bit more of a peachy gloss on top. So this is DIY by Pure. Yes, that is what we needed. Okay, perfect. Nothing like a 10-step nude lip. So worth it though, right? How good is that lip? Oh, that's good. Then I just want to make sure I'm nice and light and bright under the eyes, so I'm going to go into a pressed powder. This one I'm actually going to grab is my Nars one. It's just a little bit more yellow in tone, so it's just going to really kind of brighten up the under eye area. And then with the same pressed powder, just tap out any of the hot spots. And also your forehead wrinkles, if you're me. But that, guys, completes the final look.